Hi! 2026 is shaping up to be an incredible year for RPG fans. We're getting new technologies, fresh ideas, and the return of legendary franchises. Expect cities drowned in darkness, deserts hiding ancient secrets, and worlds where gods have descended from the heavens to test humanity once again. From samurai legends and dark vampire dramas to cosmic epics and chaotic co-op adventures, this year is going to be huge. In this video, I'll tell you about the most promising RPG set to release next year. Let's start with Nioh 3. The sequel keeps the familiar atmosphere and visual style of the previous game, but it completely flips the gameplay on its head. The new system revolves around two distinct styles, the samurai and the shinobi, and you can switch between them instantly. The samurai still relies on precise strikes, key control, and energy pulses, but now features a new weapon mastery mechanic that reduces stamina consumption and boosts attack power, making battles more aggressive and varied. The shinobi, on the other hand, is a whole different experience. The ninja style focuses on mobility, constant dodging, shurikens, and fireballs that recharge over time. Level design has also evolved. No more narrow corridors. Instead, you'll explore semi-open areas with verticality, double jumps, and stealth elements. Loulan, the Cursed Sand, an atmospheric action RPG from a Chinese studio. The protagonist is a fallen royal guard who returns to the world of the living as a reanimated skeleton, searching for his lost beloved. He can take two forms, a skeletal form for brutal close-range combat against hordes of enemies, and a sand form, where he commands the desert itself, summoning whirlwinds and sand strikes. These forms not only change your combat style, but also affect exploration and puzzle solving. The gameplay uses a top-down perspective, with a focus on dynamic combat and tactical use of the environment. Expect massive bosses, battles against the Royal Sun Guard, icy desert beasts, and mysterious ruins inspired by real archaeological discoveries. Yakuza Kiwami 3. This isn't just a remake, it's a complete reimagining of an era in Kazuma Kiryu's life. The developers have rebuilt the visuals, animations, and combat system, turning this PlayStation 3 classic into a modern, cinematic action experience. Kiryu once again takes the spotlight, trying to start a new life running an orphanage in Okinawa, but the past won't let him go. The biggest addition is Dark Ties, a new story episode where players take control of the original game's antagonist for the first time. We'll finally learn how one of the series' most complex and charismatic villains was born. New side quests, updated dialogues, and expanded scenes with Kanda and other characters make this remake not just nostalgic, but an entirely new experience. Fable 4. Fans have been waiting over 15 years for Fable's return, and it's finally happening. The new game, from the creators of Forza Horizon, takes us back to the magical land of Albion. The main heroine joins the Order of Heroes to stop a powerful villainess, but Fable has always been more than just a tale of good and evil. It's a game about choice, consequence, and who you choose to become in a whimsical world full of wonder. The new Fable promises to keep its trademark British humor, charm, and reactive world where every detail responds to your actions. And with next-gen technology, the fairy tale atmosphere looks more alive than ever. Edge of Memories. The creators of Edge of Eternity return with a new project, a spiritual and narrative sequel set on the continent of Avarice, devastated by a deadly plague that turns people into monsters. The protagonist unexpectedly gains the power to control the disease. Alongside her mentor and a shaman, she embarks on a journey across a dying world to stop the infection's spread. Combat blends real-time action with tactical Japanese RPG elements, light and heavy attacks, combo moves with allies, and devastating finishers. The world is larger and more dynamic than ever. Landscapes shift before your eyes, warped by the corrosion, and a loyal beast companion helps you traverse vast distances. The Blood of Dawnwalker. a new dark RPG from the game director of The Witcher 3. The story takes us to an alternate version of the Middle Ages. The main character is a miner stricken by a mysterious disease that transforms him into a creature known as a Dawnwalker. By day, he's human; by night, a half-vampire caught between light and darkness. He has only 30 days and nights to save his family and take revenge on his creator. The key feature of the game is its time limit. Every quest costs precious hours, and there's no way to get them back. You'll need to prioritize, deciding who to save and who to abandon. The developers promise full freedom of choice. Any character can be killed, and the story will adapt accordingly. The setting is inspired by Eastern European folklore, filled with kobolds, undead, and vampires, each with their own culture and lore. Crimson Desert. Originally planned as a prequel to Black Desert, this game quickly outgrew its roots to become a full-fledged AAA open-world action RPG aiming to set a new standard for the genre. The protagonist, a mercenary leader who's lost his comrades, must rebuild his team to survive. The world of Crimson Desert feels truly alive. Snowy peaks, lush valleys, and bustling cities are all connected into a seamless world powered by the advanced Black Space Engine. Expect realistic physics, weather changes, destructible environments, and detailed materials like water and cloth. But the real highlight is the combat system, powerful, fast-paced, and cinematic, with wrestling-inspired grapples and brutal finishers. Enemies can lose their weapons, fight bare-handed in desperation, and massive beasts can be climbed and fought atop, much like in Dragon's Dogma. Unleash the Avatar, a unique fusion of Eastern spirituality and Western game design. Developed by veterans of Ghost of Tsushima, Hogwarts Legacy, and even the Marvel films, this project aims to show that India can create world-class games. At the center of the story is Prince Rana, a modern incarnation of a hero from the Ramayana. He becomes an avatar, gaining divine powers to fight demons that torment 21st century India. It's an ancient legend retold through a modern lens, where old gods meet new technologies. The developers scanned the entire Indian city of Chundari to recreate it in-game, down to every fruit stand and temple statue. The result is one of the most authentic and richly detailed worlds ever built for a video game. The combat system is reminiscent of Sekiro, but with smoother, more fluid movement. Code Vein 2, a return to a world where eternity has become a curse. The story takes place after a catastrophe that brought a blood-red moon into the sky, turning immortals into monstrous, bloodthirsty creatures. Humanity teeters on the brink of extinction, and one immortal hunter sets out to do the impossible: travel back in time to change the course of history. He's joined by a mysterious girl who wields chronoturgic magic, the power to distort time itself. The sequel stays true to the original, a Souls-like experience focused on fast, technical combat and deep companion mechanics. Each ally now has unique abilities, combat styles, and storylines. Their bonds with the protagonist shape the narrative, and combining their skills unlocks powerful new synergies in battle. Triarchy, a cooperative action RPG where you and your friends explore the dangerous waters of a mysterious archipelago filled with secrets, monsters, and ancient ruins. At its core is melee combat inspired by Souls-like games. Boss fights are massive, multi-phase encounters that demand teamwork and precision, but the game dynamically scales difficulty, staying balanced even for solo players. The progression system lets you craft your own playstyle, become a devastating berserker, an agile duelist, or a tactical support fighter. A talent tree and flexible gear customization offer hundreds of unique build combinations. Your ship in Triarchy isn't just transportation, it's your living base. Upgrade the hull, sails, and weapons, store resources, and plan your next expeditions from its deck. Onimusha, Way of the Sword. After years of silence, Onimusha is finally returning. Way of the Sword takes us to Edo period Kyoto, a city where corruption festers beneath the surface and demons emerge from the shadows. The protagonist is a samurai gifted with a mysterious artifact that allows him to absorb the souls of fallen enemies, heal himself, and unleash devastating powers against demonic hordes. The game preserves the spirit of classic Onimusha titles, linear level progression, intense sword combat, and a blend of action and mystical horror. Developers promise a brand new hero, numerous historical figures woven into the story, and around 20 hours of gameplay, the longest campaign in the series to date. The Expanse, Osiris Reborn, a mature sci-fi drama set in a universe of political intrigue, interplanetary wars, and ancient alien technology. You play as the commander of an independent mercenary squad struggling to survive amid galactic chaos. After a catastrophic event on an infected station, events spiral out of control. Civil wars ignite, a deadly virus spreads, entire planets vanish, and the remnants of an ancient civilization resurface, leaving behind weapons capable of wiping out all life. The game structure is inspired by Mass Effect, but with a more tactical focus. Combat is third-person, with squad commands and a cover system. Each companion has their own personality, motivations, and moral limits. Their loyalty to you depends on the choices you make throughout the game. Valor Mortis. Set in Europe during the Napoleonic Wars, but this is no history lesson. The world lies in ruins, ravaged by plague, and the fallen soldiers rise again, guided by the ghostly voice of Napoleon himself. You are one of them. This first-person Souls-like, developed by the studio behind Ghost Runner, takes the Dark Souls formula and reimagines it through an immersive first-person perspective. It combines stamina management, parries, and bonfires with parkour, firearms, and a skill tree system. The atmosphere is deeply oppressive: shattered forts, rotting battlefields, and twisted abominations of fused soldiers. The bosses look like nightmares brought to life. Fatekeeper, a first-person fantasy RPG, a spiritual successor to Dark Messiah, powered by Unreal Engine 5 and designed with modern combat mechanics in mind. In Fatekeeper, players explore a dark world filled with ancient battlefields, catacombs, enchanted forests, and ruined temples. Every location hides a secret, an artifact, or a boss ready to test your skill and wit. Combat focuses on precision and environmental interaction. You can knock enemies off cliffs, ignite oil with telekinesis, or blast foes away with magic. The melee mechanics are fast, cinematic, and require accuracy, exactly what Dark Messiah fans have been craving for years. Character progression offers total freedom. You decide whether your hero becomes a warrior, a sword master, or a mage. Every object can be examined, and every puzzle has multiple solutions. Phantom Blade Zero. The developers describe it as a mix between a Souls-like and an action RPG, but in reality, it feels like something entirely unique. The protagonist wields over 50 types of weapons, which can be chained into devastating combos. The combat system revolves around timing, reaction, and precision, where every strike, parry, and step matters. The setting is a dark reimagining of Asia, a fusion of ancient myths, mysticism, and martial arts aesthetics. The world is vast and layered. Your first playthrough will only reveal about 30% of the full content. Its tone and atmosphere are reminiscent of Black Myth, Wukong, steeped in cinematic style and rich Eastern lore. Cloudheim, a cooperative RPG rooted in Norse mythology. After Ragnarok, the world shattered into floating islands, and you are a hero chosen by the gods to piece it back together. But the road to a new era leads through fire, ruins, and glorious, chaotic fun. This isn't just an RPG, it's pure physical mayhem, where every tree, wall, and enemy can become a weapon. You can throw enemies off cliffs, toss your teammates into fire, demolish buildings, and create insane combo attacks with your friends. The main feature is the Odin Shell, a massive flying turtle that serves as your base, forge, and home. With 4-player co-op, 15 playable characters, for distinct classes, and endless room for experimentation, Cloudheim focuses on wild, over-the-top, yet cleverly designed gameplay. Each of these games, in its own way, brings back that feeling, the reason we fell in love with RPGs in the first place, the sense of a journey. The genre is evolving, becoming more ambitious, but it still stays true to its heart. The Image Game Channel was with you. Have a great day.